Hello. This is just the nosy Nelly part of budgeting. I love this part. So there's going to be no cash involved this time. We're just talking about our goals for 2024, where they ended up, and our goals for 2025. So if you are just wanting to hear about that, stick around. Oh, and the things we went through. I'm going to talk about the drama that was. It should be a super quick video, but stick around. So our goals for 2024 was to get 1 month ahead. I had a binder. I expected to get about halfway through that binder. I expected to fully be left with the house payment and that project to take at least 2 years. We wanted to pay down the HELOC loan using the money that I save in the basket that I save all the time. And I expected that to be about $5,000, hopefully. I didn't have a plan for either one of these except for scraping a little bit off as I go or found money. A rebate check, you find a $5 in a pocket, that kind of found money. Somebody pays you back and you already paid for it and you don't really need the money to pay off the credit card or something like that. I wanted to open a monthly CD using money from DoorDash. I expected that to be $25 to $50 a month. I wanted 100, but I didn't expect more than that from DoorDash. And then I wanted to open an Etsy store. Unexpected things that happened to us this year that cost us money. We had to get the whole family involved in this and try and remember everything that happened because the year has been such a blur. I had to buy a new computer. I couldn't even edit my videos. My son had been doing it for me because my old computer was so slow. I got some Christmas money. I did that. We went to do our floor remodel. The floor was rotten underneath. Ended up costing us a lot more money to repair that. And then we had a house fire before that was even repaired. We had to go to the motel. Living out of a motel is way more expensive than living from your home. Food, the initial food cost to put food into 3 rooms. We had, at that time, we had 5 adult children living with us, and we had 3 hotel rooms. So we stocked with food. There was a tiny skillet. It was like the kitchenette had 1 burner and a tiny skillet. That's all the pots and pans. Like the motel was a 2-star motel. And so if you wanted to eat, you had to go to the front desk to get 2 plates and 2 forks. And that's not for me. So we bought a few dishes to last us. And then gas. We were far away. Our children worked about 1 mile from our house. And they went to school maybe 3 or 4 miles from our house to their college. And so we just kept moving farther and farther away from home. We are now about 30 minutes from our house. And so we've had a lot more gas, and they had a lot more gas money. Dog food. Yep. Left all that at the house and the dishes and had to do that. Medical goodies. My husband was burned. Lots of wraps and creams. And yes, you get reimbursed, but sometimes you don't even get the receipt turned in. And it was quite hectic at that time. I came home. We had a vacation that was planned the week after. I came home. My car was dead, needed a battery and an alternator. We gave all the kids extra money until we kind of got settled in because their life was torn up. Ours was torn up. Everybody was spending more in gas, etc. And we kind of got into a groove. My father died. And I was the next of kin, and that cost quite a bit. Death certificates, memorial services. I did not pay for his burial or his funeral, his cremation actually, but I did help out quite a bit, and that probably cost me $600-700. The freezer was left open at our house. We were selling a car. It was a super hot summer day. I gave the kids a popsicle. I don't know how it got left open. $500 worth of food lost. Didn't know it until the week later. No saving, nothing. I had to put tabs, the license plate stickers on an unexpected car. I had a kid who needed help. We had a kid who needed a car. So we bought a car. It was a cheap car. It was under $2,000. I just pulled from different savings accounts that we had. Like I had $300 to go see a podcast. I had some money saved for a project at home, and I just kind of scraped all those littler, low priority budgets together and bought a car. From work to move between various living situations. So we moved from our house to a hotel. That was a day off. 2 weeks later, we moved from that hotel to another hotel. They didn't give us enough time from the insurance. We had to move from that hotel to another hotel. So each day off my husband takes is $500, basically, to meet with the contractors to talk about lights that you already met with, but you have to go. To meet with contractors to sign off on kitchen countertops because you were told you have to be there, and then in fact you didn't, cost us $500. Lost power steering in another car. We had 2 vet visits. He has a growth. He wasn't doing too well. He's doing better now. He's kind of spunky. He's sitting right here. We brought our bedding from our old house to wash, and he is sitting on it just as happy as he can be. I had to buy a retainer for a child. That was $600. Child had oral surgery. That was $5,000. I bought half of another retainer that someone lost the bottom half. They're clear. I think they should make them bright pink so you can find them, but they don't. I had a kid who had not saved enough to pay his tuition for the last semester, and he needed it paid so he could enroll in his last class. So we paid for one term. That's about $1,600. It cost a lot when we were living in the hotels. Like, I had nothing to organize anything with, and I just went and bought like a shoe basket and a receipt basket and things like that. The dog could not stay in the hotel by himself. He's very anxious. Bark, 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 bark. And he's a Chihuahua Terrier, if that explains anything to you. So we had to buy a buckle vest because he also just leaves the car if you leave the door open. And so I was doing deliveries, and he got to go be an Amazon dog, but I had to buckle him in. So I had to buy a vest and the buckle to take him to, and some calming shoes. We had a kid who had emergency surgery with no sick pay. So I gave him $1,800 because he needed that to stay on his feet. He's newly moved out, and that can be rough. Another kid needed $150. He was switching between jobs. You know how that paycheck goes when you got to get on your new schedule. I bought a new phone because my old phone would not hold a charge. Oh, and then my husband also got a new phone. This is a brand new phone, and this we just used the insurance on. So this was like $800, and this was like $300. The freezer was unplugged by a construction worker. It had our 2 Thanksgiving turkeys in it. I found out 2 days before Thanksgiving and had to go to 5 stores to find one turkey that was not like $75. I did find one. Thanksgiving was rescued, but that was another cost. We had to buy internet here, even though this house was deemed as work available, like work from home. It does not have enough internet, and they will rent, I think, up to 12 people here. And she just simply told us that we had too many devices, and then if we would just all shut off our phones and computers, then the one computer could run. That was not the case. I got kids in college. They all have their phones up and their computers up, and they're all writing and working and blackboarding and doing all the college things. So we actually had to buy a temporary internet for here while we were here. Our heater had gone out in January last year, and it was super cold, which is why I had started saving for a generator. And it was like 30 degrees in the house. It took 2 days to get to 60. It was cold. So that was a couple $100 that we had repaired. And then when we left and went to a hotel, I had to buy a crock pot, had to buy a rice cooker. I bought a hand mixer twice. The first one burnt up while I was making one batch of fudge. So I went and bought another one, and it literally smoked, same brand and all that. I just, the cheapest one. I have a KitchenAid. Apparently I'm super spoiled. It blew up in the first batch of cookies, and I had to buy a new microwave. That was already on the list, but it got pushed up. And a convection oven to cook with, which we will use while we're home and don't have a kitchen. I had an unexpected week of vacation due to a family visit, so that was a good thing, but I had not saved for it. And then I had a kid go to the ER. I took the day off. I wouldn't change anything. Then we had the heater wouldn't turn on, and so the insurance guy told us we needed to get it fixed. He didn't know what was wrong with it. We had the heater repairman come out to turn it on because you have to dry the drywall, and come to find out they had shut off the natural gas when we had the fire, and nobody in the industry of remodeling houses thought to have the natural gas turned back on. So we paid for the guy to come out, for him to say, you need to have the gas company come and turn the gas on. So that was fun. Items we floated. These are things we had to pay for in the beginning and we paid back. The cleaning fee for this house. The insurance would pay for the house, but not the cleaning fee. It was $175 every 2 weeks. We paid for like 6 weeks at a time. They did reimburse us for all of these things. Were reimbursed. But had we not available credit or money, we would have been stuck. All of those things over there, we paid for. And so I started the year with $1,000 emergency fund and was quickly slapped upside the face, realizing how much it's not enough. So, and then food, we did get reimbursed for a lot of the food. We bought the stove or the oven and they paid us back. The range hood, they paid us back. We had to buy lights in the hall and lights in another hall. Knobs and handles for all the cabinetry, a light for the kitchen, ceiling fan. Actually, about 2 ceiling fans. They also wouldn't pay the dog fees for the hotel until we had checked out. So we had to pay $50 a week and $50 a week because we had a cat and a dog in 2 separate rooms. So we were paying $100 a week. We've been out of the house, I think it was like 20 weeks. Yeah. We had a fire alarm going off in our room every 3.5 seconds at one hotel, and we had to get another hotel room that we had to pay for. The hotel would not change us because we were on insurance and they couldn't get it confirmed. It was a fiasco. Oh, and the heater fixed again. They did reimburse us for that second one where we had to have the gas company come out, and then we bought lights for another hall. We did have $3,000 of unexpected income. Somebody gifted me some money. So that was good. That was helpful. Now, the goals for 2024 were to build up the emergency fund. It wasn't necessarily the goal when it started, but it became soon the goal afterwards. It started at $1,000. I ended at $3,500. I think that's fantastic. So proud. And that was just from saving here, dollar there. We only intentionally put $50 a month to our emergency fund. And I did use interest from high yield savings accounts, like that HELOC money, the interest, I put it towards the emergency fund. I wanted to get 1 month ahead. I only expected to get about halfway. I told you I expected this goal to take 2 years. I kind of switched because we weren't going to pay off the HELOC because we saw that we were going to need it. And I went full force. And I did complete 1 month for $6,305 saved. Once again, there was no planned savings. Like when you write your budget out, this was not a category. This was all found somewhere else, earned somewhere else, etc. I wanted to pay down the HELOC loan using the extra money and basket money. I expected $5,000. That is zero. Made no progress. That's fine. I wanted to open monthly CD using money only from DoorDash. I expected $25 to $50. I hoped for $100. I finished with $13.88. Not bad, not bad. This was not a goal, but I saw a need, so I started a routine of saving. So I have a debit card that I put all my gas money on, and every time I fill up, I've done some math, and I transfer some to repairs, oil, tires, tags, and a new car. So those 5 categories. So when I say I filled up with gas and then I rounded, it's usually $12 to $17 going in. My card also gives me a little kickback that goes to new car. And so this routine, although stinking takes a lot of time, every time I'm filling up, like transfer. Otherwise I'll forget. I ended the year total with $13.89. I did double check this number because when I was writing it down, it was really, really close to that number. I thought that was funny. $750 of that is for a new car. So the good thing about this is I've had 2 new tires put on. We've had all the oil changes done. I lost the power steering fluid. I had a battery and an alternator. And I've had several other times the car's been in a shop. I drive a lot of miles. And so this has paid for and saved more. So I think this is very successful. Very successful. And I wanted to open an Etsy store, which I did. I got it. I planned on opening it in April. I opened it the 23rd of December. So yay for me. Go check it out. Give it some love. Look around. Give it some traction for the algorithm, if you would. Goals for 2025. You ready? Boom, 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 boom. Don't have a house fire. Just don't do it. It costs a lot of money. I would not recommend. I'm going to get the emergency fund to $5,000. Like I said, it's sitting at about $3,500. We put $50 a month over, so that's $600. Should not be a problem. I actually hope to accomplish this in the first quarter of the year. I want to add to the month ahead 3 envelopes. I wasn't going to do this, but guys, I was going to miss it. So I put them back in. We're going to do it real low key. Real low key, Jennifer. Don't go wild. I hope to get 3 months ahead. 3 envelopes ahead, but I'm going to revisit that. I think I can actually get 5, but low key. We're not going wild. Want to pay down the HELOC loan? We owe $30,300. I'm going to start using money from the basket. We're splitting it 3 ways, and we're going to pay that down. I might pause this until we get our remodel done, but we'll see. We're going to finish the remodel, the kitchen the bathroom downstairs, and the new floor downstairs. And we don't have enough space in our living room for all my kids to sit, and so we're kind of flipping. We're making the dining room we're putting the dining room in the living room. The dining room will be a sitting area that's upstairs, and then we will have a big living room downstairs with enough chairs and couches for everyone. And I want the new car fund to be at $1,500, so that's about double. Doable, right? Doable. Our mortgage dropped to $199.9 and some other numbers that I would never tell all my numbers online because that's not safe. But we finally hit under the 200,000 mark. We now have a positive net worth. Woohoo! For sure. I never have figured it, but I do know what our house will sell for, and so we have a positive net worth. We've never made an extra payment. We bought at the worst time possible. We've had some really bad loans, but that's all the debt we have is this HELOC and this mortgage. So we're going to start attacking it. I don't know if it will be this year, but it is on the radar. I better watch out. I want to fund Christmas by the end of November. Waiting till December was too stressful for me. I want to fund the holidays for 2026. I'm all funded for 2025 for the minor holidays. I want to continue that routine I had set to get 2026 funded. My vacation for 2025 is funded, our big camping trip. I have some other trips that are not funded, but I want to get the main one funded for 2026. I have it to camp monthly from March to September. Just my husband and I would go for just a little weekend away. We really enjoy camping, and it costs about $100, I'm going to say. We try to keep it real low key between fees and gas and propane and some wood and, a little bit extra food that's camp worthy, maybe. I want 10,000 steps a day. I haven't been hitting it yet, but I did join that other gym starting next week. My gym clothes actually are in the pod in the driveway because we were only supposed to be gone 6 weeks. It was summer. I was like, I'll be hiking and all that. And so 35 weeks later, I'm going to get my gym clothes out this weekend. And I'm going to master those dang cinnamon rolls. I make cinnamon rolls for Christmas breakfast. They take 5.5 hours of rise time. They rise 3 times, which is unusual for bread. And I have not quite figured out why they won't rise when I freeze them and then pull them out. I would like to make them earlier and just pull out a pan of frozen cinnamon rolls and let them rise overnight and then bake them. So I'm going to have to make them throughout the year to see if I can get that to happen. My word for this year is intention. I want to spend with intention. I want to live with intention. I want to save with intention. And so that is where I'm at. It's going to be a great year. Tell me what goals you have that are not money goals. I'm going to master those cinnamon rolls this year. Thanks for listening. If you hung out to get the nosy Nelly part of my life, you have a great day. And I am going to go pack. Take the time to save $1 or $2. Bye.